Alrighty, welcome on everybody. My name's Les, the founder of FutureFX, and I'm going to take you through everything we've put together with this new FutureFX ecosystem, so you know what's on offer and how you can benefit from it. FutureFX is a company that I created and started it about 3.5 years ago, and for the sole purpose of, refining and developing and creating automated trading softwares. These softwares get used on the MT4 trading platform, and they trade Forex, predominantly Forex, or anything that's on offer on an MT4 platform anyway. Up until recently, those softwares were for sale. People could purchase them and use them. And there was nothing wrong with that. It worked well. But as far as something that was for the masses, it still required a bit of a learning curve, a bit of time to set up, regular time in using the softwares and things like that. So I put this whole ecosystem together so that the main purposes of the ecosystem was to make trading profits specifically available to pretty much anybody. Making it, and simply by making it automated and completely hands-free, meaning there's no real experience or time constraints needed. The problem with real trading is simply that it's not consistent. And that will also be true for copy trading because it's still real trading. And what I mean by not being consistent is that you'll have winning days and losing days. You'll have winning weeks and losing weeks. You might even have losing months. Obviously, nobody has problems with the winning. But when people have, people new to trading, if they have a losing trade or a few losing trades in a row, they start to spiral into this, self-doubt. Does trading work? Am I able to do this? Why doesn't it work for me? And it all just becomes too hard. Mostly mentally, it becomes too hard mentally for people, and they move on before they actually, learn the skill properly. So that's another thing that we're targeting with FutureFX ecosystem is to find a way to make profits more consistent by bringing in other income streams, and that way, if something doesn't perform well one week, something else will, and it'll balance each other out and hopefully stop people spiraling into that self-doubt issue. Oops. Okay, so that's where we enter with the FutureFX crypto token. Now, I'll get into the token a little bit more in another slide, but the token gives you a way to access trading profits much cheaper. And it also gives you another income stream because the token's designed to continue to go up in value. But we'll get into that more as well. We've also just launched an exciting new product. Well, it is an exciting new product. It's the AI crypto scanner. So it's using true AI. It scans the crypto markets. It actually scans 200 tokens every 15 minutes and returns, trades from that. So that gives members even more value and another income stream. So now, if you become a FutureFX member, you can profit from hands-free copy trading. You can profit from owning the FutureFX token. And if you own the token, that'll also make you a founder at the moment, meaning you'll earn founder milestone rewards. And then now we've got the AI crypto scanner for you to take advantage of as well. So the big idea behind all this is that now instead of people that come to FutureFX, instead of them just being customers purchasing the product and using it, they become more like stakeholders. They're not stakeholders. They're not just they don't just have a subscription, but because they're owning the tokens, they now have a vested interest in how well FutureFX does, simply because the better FutureFX does, the more people that join, the higher the price of that token will go. Now, the whole idea behind the FutureFX token is that it unlocks membership discounts. So membership's $50 per month. That's Australian dollars. And if you hold FutureFX tokens, you can bring that down to $30 a month. We'll get into this in more precise detail shortly. And if you also refer people and hold tokens, you can get your monthly membership down to nothing, down to $0. So that's the idea behind the FutureFX token. The sooner you get in, the more benefits you will get, simply because owning that FutureFX token sooner means you get it cheaper, which means as the price goes up, you benefit more. So we have a bit of a growth flywheel. This is really the big idea, is that the more people, so more users, so the more FutureFX members there are, the more demand for the token. So the more FutureFX members there are, the more tokens will get purchased, which makes the token stronger, meaning the value of the token goes up, which means people get excited and tell more people about it, which means more people join, more people buy the token goes up in price, people get excited, tell more people about it, and that's what I mean by a growth flywheel. Now, these are the different FutureFX membership tiers. Even before this ecosystem was launched, people were paying $50 a month to be a FutureFX member. But now, simply by holding 10,000 FutureFX tokens, also, I'll just touch on the value of the FutureFX token here. When we first launched, about 2 months ago, owning, to purchase 10,000 FutureFX tokens would have cost you about $10 US, so about 15 Australian dollars. And simply by purchasing them, you'd take your monthly membership from 50 down to 40. So you'd be saving $10 every month. So, after 2 months, you would have been in profit. Of course, now the value of the token has gone up a fair bit. It's almost tripled in value since we started 2 months ago, meaning that now 10,000 tokens would now cost you around about 45 Australian dollars. And tier 2, which drops you down to $30 a month, you just need to own a few more tokens. If you then hold 40,000 tokens and you've referred somebody, it gets it down to 20. And by referring 3 active referrals, you can get it down to be free, so $0. Now, at the moment, this says full paying referral, which means that your referrals need to be not only active, but they need to be paying at least $30 a month, meaning that if your referrals get up to tier 3, they would no longer count. Now, this will be getting changed sometime in the near future. I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to drop the full paying part. So as long as you've got an active member, even if they're an active free member because they're elite, they will still count. Although that may change, the amount of holding and the number of people that you need to have referred, but probably won't change it very much. But I just thought I'd share exactly how it is now, but that will be changing. Quickly go through exactly what the FutureFX token is. It's a fixed supply token, so we can't mint anymore. It's on the base network. It is a utility token. People can purchase it as a speculative investment, and people have already done really well from that. But its main purpose is to be purchased and held by FutureFX members so that they get those discounts on the tiers. As simple as that. And the whole reason the token's been going up in value is because people that join FutureFX to benefit from all the trading, they purchase a token simply to get the discount, meaning they're purchasing and then holding the tokens, not selling the tokens. So obviously, if people are buying but not selling, the price keeps going up. Whenever the token is bought or sold, there's a 2% fee. That fee goes into the liquidity and buyback wallet, meaning there's always money in there for people to sell tokens if they wish, and always someone buying the tokens. I'm also putting 30% of all membership fees. Actually, it's been around about 50% so far because I'm trying to build up the liquidity on the token. But I'm promising at least 30% of the membership fees during the 100 founder phase is going to go directly back into buyback and liquidity, mostly liquidity. The 100 founder phase will still take quite a while to fill. That just means until we get the first 100 people on board. So liquidity is strengthened over time from real membership revenue. So the more people that join, not only does that push the token price up, but it also increases the liquidity, which simply means people can actually sell their tokens. They're not just going up in value, they are going up in value and you will be able to sell them. Now, there will only be 100 founders. After that, we can have an unlimited number of members, but only the first 100 people will be founders. And I've reserved 5 million FutureFX tokens that are specifically for gifting to the 100 founders or hitting certain founder milestones, which we'll go through shortly. Now, if we hit our price target of 10 cents per token, that would make those 5 million tokens worth $500,000. So that's $500,000 that is reserved to be gifted to the first 100 people, the 100 founders. Founders will also, we have our own founders chat group where, you know, we discuss everything that's happening and working and coming and all of that. And through that, founders will have a bit of a say in the, you know, the future path that FutureFX takes, you know. So they're the people that are the keenest, that have supported FutureFX from the beginning. And I'm definitely going to try and develop FutureFX to satisfy what they want it to be. A little bit about liquidity and buyback. Now, this is all to do with the FutureFX token, and then we'll get into other ways that you can earn. But if the price of a token goes up, that doesn't mean you can sell it for that price because there needs to be liquidity on the exchange to, you know, so if you're going to sell tokens, you're putting tokens back to the exchange and you're taking the USDC out. If there's not enough of that USDC liquidity in there, there's nothing to take out, so you won't be able to sell it. So liquidity is even more important than the price of the token. I've already gone through this, how 30% of the membership fees are going into liquidity and buybacks. But the goal, when we first started, there was only $500 worth of liquidity on the token. Now we're up to about $2,500 liquidity on the token. And my initial goal was to grow the liquidity from 500 to 10,000 while we brought on board the first 100 people. We're a quarter of the way there. And we haven't quite got a quarter of the people on board yet. So we're ahead of schedule there so far. Just what it says, liquidity, increasing liquidity, it improves the stability of the token, meaning when people buy or sell the token, it doesn't affect the price as much. And buybacks create regular market buy pressure, you know, so there's always someone buying. So when we get to a stage where people decide to start selling some tokens, and, you know, I want people to do that because part of it is profiting from owning the tokens. By then, we'll have much more liquidity, so selling tokens won't affect the price too much. And that 2% fee that's going partially to buybacks will, you know, add to that buy pressure so that selling will be easier. as I said before, the more people that join, the higher the liquidity and the higher the token price. The two must go together. Here is our FutureFX token price projection, if you will. Now, these figures, they weren't just made up out of thin air. They were just using mathematics. So we know what we've got here is the price of the token up on the left-hand side. And across here, we don't have a time frame, but this is in the number of FutureFX members. So then it was reasonably easy to calculate because we know how many people are coming on board. And from that, we know how much money is being put into liquidity. We also know roughly how many tokens are being bought, or we at least know the minimum amount of tokens that are being bought. And from that, it's just a simple matter of projecting forward to see what the price would be. And when we started, the price was 0.001 US dollars per token. This is actually in US dollars. And so by the time we get to our 100 founders, we're still around about here somewhere. So we've got a minimum price projection and sort of more of a maximum price projection. So somewhere in between here will be what it will be. If we're only on the minimum price projection by the time we get to 100 founders, that will mean the value of the token will have gone up 8 times. So 800% profit by that stage. So already people that bought those tokens at the beginning, that alone is worth being in FutureFX for to get that 800% profit on the token. Of course, the maximum price projection gets up to 1.5 cents, not just 0.8. So, basically 1,500%, or at least 15 times the token value. And what that means is if you bought, let's say you bought $1,000 worth of the token, at the beginning, once the token gets up to 1.5 cents per token, you would then have $15,000. So you would have 15 times your money. And as we progress forward, up until this goes up to 300 members, that's when we should sort of start to hit that original price target I mentioned of 10 cents per token. And then that's where all those FutureFX tokens that were gifted away to the founders through the milestone rewards, which we'll get into in a minute, will be worth their projected value. To be a founder, you just need to have a monthly membership and hold at least 10,000 FutureFX tokens. Nice and simple. And that will give you access to these founders' milestone rewards. I sort of already mentioned all of this writing here, but these are the 5 different milestone rewards that you can get. So just from becoming a member, becoming a founder, you're going to get gifted 5,000 tokens. The loyalty milestone rewards, you hold those tokens or at least 10,000 tokens for 3 months and you get gifted another 5,000. When you refer your very first person, you get a 10,000 token gift, etc., etc. Meaning that all up, as a founder, you can be gifted 50,000 tokens, which by the time we hit our 10-cent price target will mean that you have 5,000 tokens. I mean, you have 50,000 tokens, but the value of those tokens will be $5,000. So simply by becoming a founder, you could be earning $5,000, and that's US dollars. And this is just a projection on that. I've already mentioned it, but if you those 50,000 tokens that you can get as a founder, as the price of the token goes up, we have the minimum projection and the maximum projection, and up here is when it hits 12 cents, it's worth $12,000. Down here at 10 cents, it'll be worth $10,000. I don't know where I got $5,000 from before. Um, but anyway, worthwhile. That's my point. But let's get into the real meaning behind FutureFX. Originally, all about copy trading. As I said, 100% real trading, fully hands-free. We're using the SMC Master software, and that's the trading softwares that FutureFX has been developing for 3.5 years. All you do is you simply connect to the FutureFX's master account, and those trades get copied across to yours. So there's nothing you need to do. When the master account opens a trade, your account opens a trade. When the master account closes a trade, your account closes a trade. So for that reason, there's no experience needed. And once you have it set up, there's no time involvement needed. So you don't need to check it daily, or you don't even need to check it weekly. Now, one thing I do want to touch on, all the trading and your trading funds always stay in your own account, an account that only you have access to. So there's some software on your trading account which is copying my trades, but other than that, nobody has access to your account except for you. So you can add funds to it, you can withdraw funds, you can turn off trading anytime you like. And all the results that we get through copy trading, all the results on the master account, they're all fully verifiable through a link in the back office that takes you to a MyFX book page on the master account. So you'll be able to see, the balance of the master account, every single trade that was taken out. You can see the profit chart over time. We haven't been going all that long so far, so it's not an extensive amount of history on it, but as time goes along, that's where the impressiveness will come from. All right, and as I said, you're getting access to this, which is initially $50, but just by owning tokens, you can get it down to $30, and then referring people, you can get it down to $0. And now the new AI crypto scanner, and I've only just added this slide to the presentation. It's exciting, I guess that's the word. By tapping into the crypto market, there are so many different pairs that you can trade. There's only a limited number of Forex pairs, but there is literally almost an unlimited number of different tokens that you can trade these days, definitely. So this picture's a little bit out of date. It's now scanning 200 tokens every 15 minutes, which means, it can scan 96 times every day, and it actually gives 19,200 opportunities each day now. Now, it doesn't mean you get 19,200 different signals to trade off. It means that it's looking at 19,200 potential setups every day, and it's just picking the ones that are valid setups. Sometimes there might be 10 signals showing in your back office. Sometimes there may be none. It will depend a little bit on the time of the day, but, just if the market's moving the right way, you'll get signals. If it's not, you won't get signals. And it's simply a matter of copying and pasting those signals from the back office into your, whatever exchange you like to trade. At the moment, the AI crypto scanner, it's actually getting its information from Binance. But I'm actually trading on Bybit myself. So there can be some signals that your exchange won't have. But other than that, most signals will be valid on most of the main exchanges. And that's it, guys. I think one good thing about the AI crypto scanner, other than all the extra pairs and the simple copying and paste of the signals, crypto compared to Forex, you can trade with a lot less money. You can make decent profit without a lot of money. Um, it's not a magic pill, though. If you want to make some serious money, you need to be trading more serious money. But, you can, with copy trading, I would suggest people start with at least $500. With the AI crypto scanner, if you just wanted to have $20 on your exchange and have a little play with that, you could do that. All right. Um, You're not going to make your fortune with $20. That's not my point. My point is for you to have a little play, a little practice, and make sure these signals are worthwhile. You can do that and only be risking a very small amount of your money. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, obviously sing out. I will put in the comments of this video, I'll put a few things, some links to our different FutureFX social medias so you can keep in contact and see what's going on. If you want to have a look at our website, you can do that. Or just put a message in this YouTube video, join our social media and send us messages. We do like questions. Anyway, I'll leave it to you and I'll talk to you all soon.